Today we celebrate the great solemnity of our Father, St. Francis. He was a deacon, refused to become a priest, wanted to follow Jesus as literally as possible. Pope Benedict XVI called him the giant of holiness and a great saint and a joyful man who taught the church that the secret of true happiness is to become saints close to God. He was born 1182, one of several children born to the wealthy cloth merchant Pietro Bernardone and his wife Pica. His baptismal name was John, but when Daddy came home, Daddy loved all things French, so we called him Francesco, the little Frenchie. And like many medieval saints, he was neither studious nor pious in his youth. His father's wealth gave him access to a lively social life among the upper classes, where he was known for his flashy clothes and readiness to burst into song. Later, a patron of peacemakers, he aspired to great military feats in his youth and fought in a war with a rival Italian city-state. A period of imprisonment during that conflict turned his mind toward a more serious thought, as did a recurring dream that suggested his true army was not of this world. He returned to Assisi due to illness, and there began to consider a life of voluntary poverty. 3 major incidents confirmed Francis in his path. In Assisi, he overcame his fear of disease to kiss the hand of a leper. Afterwards, he made a pilgrimage to Rome, where he deposited his money at St. Peter's tomb and exchanged clothes with a beggar. Then he returned home, and Francis heard Christ tell him, "Go, Francis, and repair my house, which, as you see, is falling into ruin." He began to use his father's wealth to restore churches. But Daddy wasn't happy with that. This led to a public quarrel in which the cloth merchant's son, Francis, removed his clothing and declared that he had no father except God. Where that happened today is where Blessed Saint Carlo Acutis is buried there in Santa Maria Maggiore. He regarded himself as the husband of Lady Poverty and resolved to serve Christ as a herald of the great king. That's St. Mary Major in Assisi, not in Rome. During the year 1208, the herald received the inspiration that would give rise to the Franciscan movement. At Mass one morning, he heard the gospel reading in which Christ told the apostles to go forth without money, shoes, or extra clothing. This way of life soon became a papally approved rule, which would attract a huge number of followers, even within Francis's own lifetime. Through his imitation of Christ, Francis also shared in the Lord's sufferings. He miraculously received Christ's wounds, the stigmata, in his own flesh during September of 1224. His health collapsed over the next 2 years, a living sacrifice made during 2 decades of missionary preaching and penance. He died on October 3rd, 1226. Pope Gregory IX, his friend, canonized him in 1228. Not even 2 years later. That's because he was holy and a saint. So how should we best honor St. Francis? By doing what he suggested, leading holy lives and becoming saints. Amen.